Joined now by the analyst, Professor Barry Hanyane, Professor of Politics at Northwest University. Professor Hanyane, good evening to you and thank you for your time tonight on The Pulse. In a strange way, I don't know if it is strange, I mean the issue of land, absolutely vital to our country, the violent dispossession of land from black people, that was owned by black people, by white people, really laying the seeds of the inequality we have now. You would think the ANC and the EFF, with both, and I'm choosing my words carefully, both claim to represent black people, would vote the same way on a clause like this. And here they voted in different ways.
Stephen, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to your viewers. Well, it doesn't surprise me at all in that both parties chose to use this as a political tool to actually advance their own stance on this matter. It's even worse. We're in an election year, or should I say post-election year, the 1st of November, which by and large, the whole issue again surfaced and was used as a tool to actually garner support on both fronts and perhaps other political parties as well. So it's just unfortunate that the historical context, as per your question, it's not treated the way it's supposed to. Instead, there is too much politicizing of the whole matter. And here we are today. It's back to almost the foundation, back to zero in terms of dealing with this issue. And again, it demonstrates that it's not an issue that requires political solution alone. Surely there must be issues that must be considered technically. Surely there must be issues that must be considered from a socio-economic point of view, as your question would want to allude.
Is part of the problem that the ANC is divided on this? And I mean, I think it's easy to see that the ANC is divided on this. You can spend 2 minutes on Twitter and you'll see NEC members of the ANC having very differing views.
It's because the issue itself is emotive, Stephen. As much as it is generational, by the way, we shouldn't take that label away from the whole thing. And I'm made to understand that as things stand, unfortunately, the whole debacle, the whole standpoint does suggest strongly that perhaps it was a rushed issue, especially from the legislative point of view, that we should have an ad hoc committee, and this ad hoc committee should be given deadlines, and a particular technocratic approach should be undertaken, which was, and in a sense, to some political parties, they felt this was a rushed process. So we're dealing with a whole range of complicated things, and I'm afraid solutions are not going to come soon, given the impasse that we're witnessing today.
So then what is going to happen? I mean, the ANC making the point that even if this amendment fails, government can still push quite strongly for land reform. There are so many different issues within it. And I mean, other parties raising the issue that sometimes you have black farmers being given land but never tenure, you know, government holding on to the land in a way, people being given leases to land but not actual ownership of land. What I'm getting to is, do we think that there's actual political will to do this? Because land ownership patterns are difficult to change. It requires a lot of political will to change them.
Yeah. It has been demonstrated, Stephen, I